Hello everybody and welcome back to another Ghost Bear Gaming video. Today we are playing something a little different today. We're playing Solasta, Crown of the Magister. It is a D&D based RPG that is it's a little bit older now. It's like 2 years old now or so, I think. They've released several DLCs that I'm going to eventually purchase so that I can unlock some of the other stuff. Like in Primal Calling, you unlock the Barbarian and the Druid classes, as well as the Half-Orc Ancestry. There's a Sorcerer update where you unlock Sorcerer class. There's a Lost Valley, which is a whole new adventure. And then there's a support pack, which includes exclusive dice and a few other things for the game. But I'm just going to play a run through of the base campaign for the game, and so I just wanted to run through this. I'm going to do the intro as well, hopefully really quickly. I'm also going to go through character creation real quick. I'm going to create a half-elf paladin. Just to show you guys. So sorry, I'm going through this really fast. These are the 5 races that you can use in the base game. There's dwarfs, and there's 2 lineages. There's hill dwarf and snow dwarf. The hill dwarfs get 2 constitution and 1 wisdom. And the snow dwarfs get 1 dexterity and 2 constitution, so they're a little bit quicker. They all get all dwarves get advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance to poison damage. They're all proficient with battle axe, hand axe, and warhammer, and are unaffected by heavy armor penalties. The snow dwarfs get a crossbow proficiency as well, and dark vision, and +2 to constitution saving throws for snow dwarf endurance. The hill dwarfs get the +1 wisdom. They get 1 HP per level additionally, which is good. They get dark vision, and they're common and dwarvish. So half elves get a +2 to charisma, and you get to increase 2 other scores by 1 point each. They get 2 bonus skills. They can see in darkness with dark vision, which in this game darkness is really big, because you can't attack things that you can't see, and if you're in the dark and you don't have a light source and you don't have dark vision, you can't see what you're attacking. So it's very helpful to have dark vision. Advanced saving throws, immunity to magical sleep. So that's what half-elves get. Humans get +1 to all their ability scores, and common and 1 language of your choice is what humans get. Halflings get +2 to dexterity, both lineages of halflings. These are marsh halflings, so they get +2 dexterity. They get brave, which gives them advantage on saving throws against being frightened. They get lucky. When you roll +1, when you roll a 1 on an attack roll or an ability check or a saving throw, you can re-roll it and use the new roll. And halfling nimbleness, you can move through a space of any creature that is of a size larger than you, so they can move through people without getting attacked. Marsh halflings get +1 to constitution. Areas with marshes and ponds and humid are considered swamp terrain, so I don't know what that means for swamp, and they get dark vision. And then the other halflings are island halflings, so they get +1 charisma, and they get rope dancing, advantage on dexterity checks. And then elves are the other race that you can choose. So all elves get +2 dex, saving throws against charm and magical sleep, dark vision, keen senses, so they're all proficient in the perception skill, and they get a trance where they only need 4 hours of meditation to rest. They don't need to actually sleep. High elves get +1 intelligence, and they are proficient in longsword, short sword, shortbow, and longbow. They get to choose 1 wizard cantrip that they can use, and they start with Elvish, Common, and 1 additional language. And then the other elf are Sylvan elves, which again get the same stuff as the other ones, but then they get a faster movement speed, so they get to move at 7. they get +1 to wisdom. They still get the elf training for all those. They're proficient in survival and athletics, and they gain advantage on survival when hunting. And they have common dwarvish and halfling languages. So those are the starting races that you can choose from, and then eventually you can unlock orc or half orc with the expansion, the DLCs. But I'm going to make a half elf paladin. The classes that you can start the game with are cleric, fighter, paladin, ranger, rogue, and wizard. I don't have sorcerer, I don't think, because I haven't got the DLC, but maybe I can be a sorcerer. I don't know. But I'm going to make a paladin. So you can see what, by clicking on the class, you can see what they start with, and then you can click at higher levels and it tells you what they get at their additional levels as they go up through the game. And then they also give you the list of domains that you can choose from for clerics. So with paladin, at higher levels, they get all their different things for paladins. I'll go through that as I level up in the game. And then Sacred Oaths they get to choose from later on are all really good as well. So, but I'll show you those once it comes time to choose one. So paladins use wisdom and charisma. So that's why being a half elf is great for them, because you get, or their saving throws are wisdom and charisma. They cast with charisma as their spell, I believe. When they get spells, thanks to paladin spellcasting, you can cast spells from the paladin spell list, but I'm pretty sure their spellcasting ability is their charisma. So having a high charisma from being a half elf is good, and then you can also take strength and constitution with your two other ones that you get from being a half elf to help make them a little tankier and do more damage. So, and then down here you can edit the equipment that they start with. So you can choose to start with a longsword and a shield, or like 2 weapons and 5 javelins, or a spear, chainmail and a holy symbol, and a priest pack or an explorer pack. So I think I want to go with, I like having a warhammer. For some reason I remember having, I don't know. Having a shield is really handy because it gives you better AC. Yeah, no, it's good. I'll just go with the standard longsword. And priest pack gives you a backpack, 2 candles, rations, healing remedy, craft manual, scroll of cure wounds. So it gives you the ability to learn how to craft a cure wounds scroll. And an explorer pack gives you a backpack, torches, remedies, small parts. Yeah, I'll go with the priest pack. So that's that one. So we'll go next. So now you get to choose your deity. I don't know if these have much Lost Valley, okay. Much to do with it other than the alignment that you can be, or that the god is. There's the different gods. I like this one, Enar, which is the god of valor and fidelity. So I think I'll take that. And then you get to choose a background. So if you're familiar with D&D, backgrounds give you a few bonuses that you can get from it. And it also gives you personality flags. So you can choose how your person kind of reacts based on what you choose here. So academics get proficiency in arcana, nature, and insight. And then you have ties to the antiquarians, which are a guild that you can deal with. I like doing an aristocrat, which gives you proficiency in history, persuasion, and intimidation. So all good charisma. These two are really good charisma-based skills, persuasion and intimidation, and you get 2 extra languages. So I think I'm going to go with the aristocrat background. And I like to go, I'm a person that likes to go with good characters and good, I don't like to play the evil side. Some people do like to go the evil side, but I like to play on the good side, so I generally take lawfulness and altruism. And then I try to take kindness and pragmatism as well. So that what your personality does is it affects kind of how they talk in the game and what options you get in the game for some of their speeches. So that's there. Now you get to do your roles. So I'm gonna increase my strength by 1 and my constitution by 1, because that's really good for paladin. As a paladin, your most important ability scores are strength, charisma, and constitution. So I already get 2 to charisma, and getting 1 of each of these is the other one. So I'm just gonna roll a few of these, see if I can get some decent numbers. 17s, this is a decent array, but I think I can get a slightly better one. If I just click it a few times. Ooh, that's perfect. That's great. Okay, so I want 17 strength, so that'll bump that to an 18. I will put a 16 into my charisma, so it becomes an 18. I'll put a 16 into constitution. And then wisdom is usually a good thing to have high, because it gives you wisdom saves are usually important. Having +1 to dex is never a bad thing, because it gives you your AC increase and your initiative increase, so having a 12 in my AC is not terrible. And intelligence is one of those stats that's kind of it really is a dump stat in D&D unless you're a wizard, so it's not that big of a deal. So I like that array, so I'll go next. Now skills. I've already got proficiency in history, intimidation, and persuasion, so I can take other skills. The nice thing that they have in this is, like, see how it says here on this, although part of the rule set and valid for role-playing purposes, this element is not used in the Crown of Magister main campaign, but it is used in the Lost Valley DLC. So I'm not playing the Lost Valley DLC, so sleight of hand is kind of useless, so I don't need to take it. Same with investigation and performance, and animal handling. They're all things that are, they've put it in the game because it's part of the rule set for D&D, but it's not really used that much. So intimidation and persuasion are great. I think, how many do I get to choose? 2 ancestry skills, 2 class skills, and 2 so I think I'll take deception and perception is always good to have. Athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion. So I think I'll take athletics and insight. Now with languages, it does the same thing. It gives you these little things that tells you whether they're actually used in the game or not. So common, druidic isn't used in the game, but I can't get it. I have elvish. I have old Temerian. Terran isn't used, giant isn't used, so orcish is used, so I might as well take it. And then dwarvish, because why not? And I get one more. I'll take the old Temerian there. So now I have all those languages that I can use in the game. And now you can kind of mess with their face. So what am I going to call this guy? I'll call him, I don't know, Roderick, I think. And we'll change his face a little bit. It's kind of a strange looking face for now. That one's not bad. It's kind of a yellow skin tone. Let's go with that. body decorations. Don't want any sort of face paint or paint. He's not really a barbarian or anything, so I think I'll just go with that. Scars. That's just a little one on his nose. That one above his eye is not too bad. I'll take that one. Hairstyle. That's decent. Beard. Don't want him to have a beard. The beard hair is kind of weird. This face that I got him has kind of stubble. Yeah, let's just go with unshaven. Or clean, sort of clean shaven. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, eye color. Let's go with something like gold eyes. That's kind of cool. Green. Let's go with like green. He's a half elf buff. Buff his physique a little bit. Let's swell his chest out a little. Go a little bit. Make him a little older.
A palpable hit. Blessed are the light swords. Fortune is fickle. Now. Rise, how foolish of you. The fight is not yet over. Heave, now, all your strength.
I'll take that first voice. So, and that's my character, Roderick. So, I will select him as my paladin. So he'll be my first character. I've pre-made some of the other characters, so I've got this guy named Danithir, who's a ranger, who's also a lowlife, so he gets the ability to use thieves' tools. I have a dwarven cleric named Berta, and then I have a high elf wizard named Kara. So that will be my party, and let's get started. So quickly, the preamble to the game is a little slow. It basically runs you through the basics of the game and how to do some of the things. So I'll quickly play through that as fast as I can. I'll probably make this video about I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes if I can, and we'll just try and get through the first little bit as fast as I can. Excuse me.
Before the cataclysm, there were no gods on Solasta. No humans either.
So this is the backstory of the world.
Then the rift opened. Some say it was a magical accident, or the work of an evil god. No one knows for sure. The cataclysm destroyed the old High Elf Empire. Manicalan, they called it, and twisted the land beyond recognition. Now, only the brave and the foolish go there, in search of ancient treasures. But something is happening deep in those Badlands. Whatever it is, it can't be good.
It is the year 1024 after the cataclysm. New states have arisen around the Badlands and crave its treasure. A newly discovered road offers a safer route into the ruined heart of the Empire from the Principality of Masgarth. upsetting the balance of power. The Legacy Council is formed to ensure that its knowledge is shared. It issues a call for agents to explore the Badlands in its name. Adventurers flock to Caer Keflin, the Principality's capital and home of the Council. 4 strangers meet in the Gravekeep's cask close to the Council chambers. So those 4 strangers are us.
This beer tastes like donkey piss. Not that I'm complaining.
Is this the place for the Legacy Council job? Hope I'm not too late.
Ran into a bit of trouble on the way here. Sit. Relax. Perhaps you'd enjoy a pint of this obnoxious ale.
You're not too late, friend. We're all here for the same reason. Grab a chair.
Another round, barkeeper. 4 of your finest flagons of donkey piss, please.
I see you're all making the best of this.
Indeed. You mentioned something about some trouble. Would you care to elaborate?
I was proceeding down the highway, minding my own business.
So
when
each
3
person will
brigands burst from the bushes and waylaid me.
tell
Carried
their
me off to
story
some
of how they got
ramshackle
there, and
prison,
it
an
goes through how to
imperial
kind of
ruin
play the
some
game a
sort.
little bit.
Fortunately, the walls were as weak as this indifferent ale we're drinking.
So you wake up in prison, and you've got to escape. So it just basically goes through the basics of movement. So you right click to rotate the camera, ASWD moves the camera around, and then you point and click your journal. Tells you what your objectives are. There's also your adventure log, bestiary, factions, and tutorial. So you just basically use this to move around until you find where you've got to go. So there's an area here where you can crawl under. If you click past it, your character will crawl underneath. And then there's interactable objects. So if you press Alt, it lights up anything that you can interact with on the screen so you can see it. You click on that, and I think that gives us our equipment. No, it gives us a torch though. So you can put it in your light source hand, and then she'll carry around a torch. See, now this is interactable, so you can go up to that. This just tells you can interact with things, and you can, if certain things are able for your character to move, they can be moved. So then you crawl. Your character will always take the path of easiest way to get somewhere. So now here's where you get to do a different sort of a check. So there's a chest over here. And it's talking about how if you have athletic skill and you have a certain amount of strength, you can jump different distances. You can also cast spells on yourself to make yourself able to jump further and things like that. So, like normally your character would just go around this way, but if your character has a high enough jump score, they can jump across here to get this chest, which gives us a potion. And then you can, oh, I can't push that from this side, so then you've got to jump back. And then you jump over this way, because this is only 2 squares, so anybody can leap that. And then you make your way around. And then again, there's an interactable, all these things are you can interact with, so you got to push this thing over. And then you can run across it. And then if your character that you had doing this part couldn't have made this jump, you can push this rock and get the chest anyway. Sometimes in areas you'll be able to get chests like that. Other times, if you don't have the ability to get it, you can't pick up the chest. So I just drop those rocks on those bandits. Now I'll go down here and get my equipment. You can just hit the loot all button and it'll loot everything. And now I escape. And so that's the first basic tutorial of them.
You escaped unscathed. Well done, my friend.
Perhaps someone else can tell a story, since it looks like we might be here a while.
Have another ale. It's not like you have anywhere better to be.
Well, let me tell you my story then. I too was accosted on the way here, but I faced my foes head on.
So what are you waiting for? Spit it out, why don't you?
So now this gives you the basic combat tutorial. You get attacked by a couple of wolves on the bridge. And it goes through the basics of combat. So everybody rolls initiative. Up here it shows you tutorial on dashing. Moving to a point in the yellow area uses your main action to dash. Dash doubles your maximum movement for a turn. However, you cannot use an action to attack or cast a spell if you dash. So, see here on the ground, I can move to this point on my own, but if I hit dash, I can move further. But I don't want to dash, I want to fight these guys, so you want to just move. In D&D, everything is about 5 foot movement, so you can move 1 square and then still attack.
Another victory.
And then you just end your turn after that. Now that guy missed. And there's another wolf coming at me from back here. So he dashed to get to me for this turn. So to attack enemies, yes, understood. So you can do a shove, which is something that they showed you. So if you click down here, you can hit shove and you can push somebody. So you want it, you can either knock them prone or you can push them away. So I'm going to push away this guy and he goes falling off the ledge. So now if you try to move away, see how it says it's red if I try to move away? In D&D, if you try to move away from somebody once you're already in their threatened range, you get somebody can hit you with an attack of opportunity. So if I moved away, he would be able to attack me as I tried to leave. So it's better to just end your turn. Because if you move away, he'll be able to attack you once and then also just move on his own turn and usually be able to attack you. Unless you use the... And if you haven't attacked, you can disengage, which foregoes your attack and lets you move without getting attack of opportunity. And dodge allows you to not attack and you actively try to avoid stuff, and you will just it gives you a boost to your AC, so you're harder to hit. So now I have to go back across here and push this block. I think usually they want you to disengage and push the block. Oh, I get attacked by another wolf. Okay, so this is this is the disengaging. So the idea behind this is you want to disengage and push the rock. So you hit the disengage button, you proceed. So I disengage so he can't attack me, so I can move over here. And then push the rock onto him, and the bridge falls.
What a bunch of namby-pambies. You're lucky you weren't attacked by Sorax.
That's right, mate. It's always good to be lucky.
The Badlands are thick with them, shape-shifting bastards.
Go easy on him. He's just a harmless old drunk. Probably saw lizard folk or dragonborn or something.
You think I don't know the difference? All those spines on their backs, those jaws. You've never
The
seen anything
Sorax
like it.
are
Not lizard folk, not troglodyte,
a
not
myth
dragonborn,
at this
I'm
point in the
telling you.
game.
No one
Everybody,
believes in Sorax anymore. Except the Church of Enar, of course. There's a Sorak under every bed if you believe them.
Easy now. Don't mock people for their faith.
Read them books. Sorax are masters of deception, infiltration. Anyone here could be a Sorak. You'd never know.
Oh, come on.
Huh, you'll see.
So anyway, Sorax might be legend, but orcs are quite real, and not just in the Badlands. I stumbled across a secret
Sorry
settlement
for my
right
chair making
here
noise.
in the Principality.
That is preposterous.
I traveled here from the east and left the main highway, hoping to save time by traversing the hills. The views were magnificent, but I should have kept my eye on the path, because it gave way beneath my feet, plunging me into Stygian darkness.
now with this one, it kind of gives you a
That's good to remark.
a thing about a tutorial about lighting and light sources. All of my characters have dark vision, so I don't usually have to worry about lighting, but if you make a human, they won't have dark vision. So it says here you can interact with torches with a thing, or you can cast a spell on them. So I have to light my way, so I have to pull out my candle. And then it tells you to light 2 torches. So if you come over here and light this one with your candle, and then the other one with your candle. Now investigate this totem. So you'll do a skill check. Excuse me, my voice is
Orc
going
hideout
wrong.
right in the middle of the Principality. How surprising. Let's hope they've eaten recently.
Sometimes you can fail those skill checks if you're in the game. This is just a tutorial, so you won't, but so you interact with this. A healing, if your character can cast a healing spell, you can use a potion. So you can grab this chest. More healing potions and stuff. Rations. I'll explain rations when you go on a walk and have to when you go on a quest and you have to move.
There they are. Discretion is clearly the better part of valor in this instance.
So you have to go over there to unlock that. So it tells you about sneaking now. So you can use cautious mode. So when you hit cautious, it puts this little ring around you and you'll move quietly, and anybody who isn't in that ring won't be able to hear or see you. But if they do get close, you can sometimes move away fast enough, depending on how close they get and how fast you're moving. So this opens up a door over here. And then you can move back to there. The characters will make their own way over if you just click where you want them to go eventually. So you don't have to like click, 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 click all the way along. You can just click where you want them to go and they'll make their way there. Now she'll jump across here. And then if we come down here, then there's some moss that you can click on over here. Which is an ingredient for crafting, which I can go over in another video when I actually get to be able to do some crafting. And then this is a fireplace where you can do a long rest. So when you make your way down here, if If you see one of these in a dungeon, that means it's a safe spot that you can rest and
No other means
complete a
of
long
progress
rest
is
in order to
apparent.
get your spells and stuff back.
These creatures do hunt, right?
So this is taking a long rest. Sorry. You can recover hit points, special abilities, and spells. You also gain, if you have gained enough experience to level up, you have to take a long rest in order to complete a level up. So you just gotta wait for the orcs to leave. So this is where you do a long rest. You can recover hit points and you'll get these hit dice back. When you do a short rest, you can use a hit dice to roll and recover some of the hit points that you have. So she's hurt. She's at 3 of 8 health. So actually, here, I'll show you a short rest if I can. Maybe I can't. If you do a short rest, you can... it doesn't matter. If you do a short rest, you can... whatchamacallit? Use a hit dice to regain some of your health. And then you get those hit dice back whenever you complete a long rest. And after creating a long rest, you can also change your spells around. But I don't want to do any of that, so I'll just close this. The orcs have left, and we can leave. There.
I would have slaughtered every
And
one
now
of
the
those
last one
monsters.
is the ranger
Orcs
who's
have a
going to
very
do the sneaking.
distinctive stink.
I'm beginning to think Lord Karen might be a mythical creature.
We've all told a tale of our travels here. All but one of us.
Yes, but I have a good reason for that. It's none of your bloody business.
We can't take up arms together if we don't trust each other.
Fine. You want to know the truth? I stopped on the way here to visit an old friend of mine, and discovered he was up to his eyeballs in debt with a loan shark.
So, he was in dire straits.
Indeed. He put up a family heirloom as collateral and wanted me to reacquire it because, you see, I can be quite stealthy when necessary.
So now you get to do a stealth tutorial. A little bit more with a stealthy character. I really wonder what you do if like you don't have a stealthy character as a party member, because you can make whatever kind of party you want. So I'll put on cautious mode, and because this guy's actually trained in stealth, his circle's a lot smaller. Remain in cautious mode for the whole duration of the mission. You must require... Cautious mode also allows you to find and follow tracks. So you can see where tracks usually lead to, in the rest of the game, they usually lead to a hidden area. Camera controls, understood. Okay, what's in this? Thieves tools, if you don't already have some, you can loot some here.
Liam, always thoughtful.
So now you can go in through here. There's a guard up there that can't see you because you're incautious. And you come through the door. But you gotta lockpick it, so you roll and go up, you use your thieves tools. And then there's guards in the so you want to just avoid the guards. Lockpick another door. You climb up into the window. Oh, I forgot this bush. Hold on. This gives you some more crafting materials, and then you can go up into this window real quick.
Stop. A trap.
So you can undo the trap. And there's another trap.
Piece of junk.
And then you get the heirloom. And a bit of money. And now you gotta walk your way out here, and then you realize that Liam has confronted the loan shark.
There you are, you filthy crook!
You? What? You're drunk. Get out of here before I kill you.
Think you scare me? Not anymore.
A grave mistake.
Liam, what are you doing here? I told you I'd take care of it.
So now this talks about critical characters. Sometimes when you're playing, you'll have critical characters with you or in your party that'll join you for a little bit of time, and you have to make sure that they survive. So Liam's a critical character, so you have to make sure that he lives. So if I go, I can make move down here to attack him. Yeah, I might as well. So I'll just hop down, come over, and I'll just stab him in the back. Cha.
Bleed.
He survived that. And now because I'm using two-handed weapon, or two light weapons, I can use a bonus action to attack with my offhand. There. And that's the end of the tutorial.
Are you four here to see Lord Karen?
It depends on who's asking.
Well, if you're here for Lord Karen of the Legacy Council, that would be me.
So you can choose who you want to attack, or who you want to talk. And sometimes there'll be like a skill involved in what you choose. So
you're not a mythical creature after all.
Unlike, say, a sober adventurer?
Might we ask a bit more about this quest of yours, sir, if you please?
Well, I suppose it's better if you know what you're doing. What do you want to know?
So you can ask
Here, this is a mission
about the
for
Legacy Council.
But what is it exactly?
Dear Mareike, you don't know? I'll try to make it simple. But you know, politics? The Council includes representatives of the most powerful and influential organizations in the Eastern Kingdoms. It was created to lead a joint effort to explore the Badlands.
Which countries make up these Eastern Kingdoms?
Simple. The Principality of Masgarth, here, is in the middle. The Snow Alliance lies to the north. The Kingdom of Galavan to the east, and the New Empire to the south. All friendly, more or less, but the peace is fragile.
Alright, and then...
What are the organizations you mentioned?
The Council is, how to put it, a non-governmental organization, meaning that state governments are not represented, to avoid partisanship. Instead, there are delegates from the Guild of Antiquarians, the Tower of Knowledge, the Arcaneum, and the Circle of Denantar. And the Church of Einar guarantees fairness, led by Marshal Beric Sunblaze and Oathkeeper Lyra Keen.
And then you can find out what the Badlands.
Really?
Simply put, they are a monster-ridden, chaotic wasteland that used to be the Elven Empire called Maniculum. It was destroyed about 1,000 years ago by the Great Cataclysm. Now, only ruins remain, full of forgotten knowledge, riches, and dangers.
And
I think we know enough now. Thank you.
And...
Are we going to work for you?
Not exactly, no. I'll be your contact with the Legacy Council. which you will serve as deputies. That's why we need to go there and get you sworn in.
What can you tell us about this place, the Principality?
We don't exactly have the time. Anyway, the Principality of Masgarth is ruled by Princess Kaiwood Silverflower. We are a wealthy state with fertile lands, and the easiest access to the Badlands through a pass called the Copperhead Road. We're in the capital, Caer Kiflin, which was once part of the ancient Manicalan Empire of the High Elves. Hence the magnificent elvish buildings up there in the High Town. While we don't have a state religion, all of the major faiths of Solasta are represented here, though we tend to favor Einar, the god of valor and fidelity.
Alright,
We should go, don't you think?
so now we can move on
Very
to the
well.
next part.
Come, gather your things. You're late for your swearing in.
Hurry up and wait. The story of my life.
So now when you get to now after the tutorial, now all the rest of this is the rest of the campaign game. So you there are still little things that you have to do. So the tutorial, understand. So now whenever you've got a quest, there'll be a flashing quest marker on your map, and you have to kind of make your way over to that. So none of these people will actually talk to you until you're sworn in.
Let's get you deputized first, shall we?
These are people that will sell you stuff later on once you're deputized. So they're like, one of them is an arms and armor dealer, another one is a magical items dealer, and just keep running as fast as I can to get up here. Once you get sworn in, you also level up, so I'll be able to
I never thought I'd get so close to the embassies.
So hopefully we get sworn in quickly, and then
The size of this council hall.
So this is what they spend our taxes on.
Look, is that...
The princess. Wait, is she leaving?
Apparently so.
Then who will administer the oath?
There's an oath keeper for that, I think.
You thought it would be the princess?
Doesn't she lead the council?
No. In this chamber, she's just another delegate. Lady Keen, the council's oath keeper, is trusted by all.
Lord Karen,
Yes, milady.
are these your new deputies?
They are, milady.
My name is Lyra Keen, Oath Keeper of the Council.
Pod down.
And I will be administering your vows. Once sworn in, you will carry the authority of the Council wherever you go. Your every action will reflect upon the Council's reputation. Remember that. Always. Now, please, raise your right hands. Do you, each and all, solemnly swear your lives
I wish they'd
and
have
allegiance to
animated
this
them
council,
raising their right hands, actually.
promise to carry forth our mission to protect our alliance from any who would threaten the common good.
I swear.
I swear.
Oh, there they go. They
Excellent.
raise them at the end.
Lord Karen will enter your name into the Council's register. Thank you for your service.
Congratulations, deputies.
Wait, that's it?
Let's focus
Stop
on the mission.
wasting time. What's the mission?
Well, a motivated deputy. So, the mission. As I'm sure you know, the council maintains a number of outposts to secure the border between the Principality and the Marches. One of them is the former Imperial fortress, Caer Lem. It's held by some 50 troops under the command of Captain Henrik. He sends us weekly status reports, or rather, he used to. We haven't heard a word from him in 3 weeks. Leave immediately for KLM and find out if anyone there is still alive. If Captain Henrik or anyone else is still breathing, bring him back. The Council wants a first-hand report.
Alright. Very good to go.
I guess that's that. It's on to KLM.
Now this tells you about factions and your relations with factions. And then it tells you about different waypoints and the location map. So, and now this here, this lovely little arrow that's on everybody's heads, that means I can level up, but I have to long rest in order to do that. So I have to go all the way back. Hit map. I think you can also sort of fast travel to where. So I want to go to the Gravekeeper's Cast. So if I click here, it'll move my party there. So I go yes. And now I can talk to him.
Hello, adventurers. What can I offer you?
We need a
We'd
room.
like to stay for the night.
Sure. Just walk up to
A
the...
suite.
It's...
And now we go through a long rest, and I can level up. So, Roderick the Paladin, he'll level up. At level 2, he gets Divine Smite, which is great because he does additional damage when he wants to, but he uses up a spell slot. He gets to choose a fighting style, and he can cast Paladin spells. So the fighting style that I'm going to take is probably Dueling, because that gives me an additional 2 damage to whenever I'm using a one-handed weapon and not using any other weapons. It gives you an extra 2 damage. So when he's using his longsword, he'll do an additional 2 damage with it. So I'll take Dueling, and then I can prepare spells. So Paladins get access to these spells. Do I want either of these? Bless is good. Shield of Faith is good. Divine Favor, yeah. Heroism, Cure Wounds, yeah. Okay, I'll just keep those ones. So that's good for him. So now I'll level up the Ranger. Same thing, he gets a fighting style and he gets Ranger spells. So we'll go next. And him, I'm going to take 2 weapon fighting, which allows me that on my offhand I can add my my modifier, which for him is his dex, so he gets to be able to do his main hand does 1d6 plus 5, and then his offhand will normally, without this feat, just do 1d6, but now it'll do 1d6 plus 5 as well. So we'll do that. And now I can learn new spells. Hunter's Mark is a must. It's like the best Ranger spell because it gives you extra damage when you're fighting. And then, what do I want after that? Jump, Longstrider, Goodberry. Goodberry's pretty good because it helps you with healing. Yeah, let's do Goodberry. Why not? Longstrider and Jump are interesting, but I'm going to take Goodberry. Now I'll level up the Cleric. She gets Channel Divinity, Turn Undead, and Decisive Strike. And she gets more spell slots, so I can prepare spells for her. These are her cantrips that she knows. She gets Shield of Faith and Magic Missile as domain spells, so she always has them. Do I like any of these other spells? No, they're all pretty good. I'm good with just taking those. Okay, so validate that, and now level up the Wizard. I get to choose an Arcane Tradition at level 2, and she unlocks some other abilities. So, the Arcane Traditions, so for Wizard you can get a Green Mage, which spells from the green magic list are considered wizard spells for you. So Animal Friendship. So she basically can cast spells like a whatchamacallit, a druid or a ranger. And she gets smithing and proficiency in light armor, and then short bow, but similar to rangers for natural explorer. Lore masters get advantage on arcane history and investigation ability checks, advantage to copying scrolls into your spellbook, and scroll and potion crafting costs and times are halved, so she's good at making scrolls and potions. Or there's the Shock Arcanist, which is the one I like because it's more about combat. When casting spells from the war list, they count as being cast at one level slot higher than the one you actually use. So Burning Hands, Magic Missile, all these spells are considered war spells. So she casts them as if she's casting them higher. So if you use a first level spell slot on Magic Missile, it casts like it's a second level spell. So it's really handy to do. So she gets to learn 2 new spells that she doesn't have already. So I've already got all these ones, so these are the ones that I can choose to learn. So which ones are really good to have? Shield is great. Fog Cloud is handy. Sleep is really good. Let's take Sleep, actually. Okay. Now finish. So now I can prepare spells for her. So I think Sleep is more valuable than Charm Person at this point. So good. So that's everybody leveled up, and I can close. So now we can move on. This guy wants to talk to us, so we'll go see what he has to say.
Go get killed in the Badlands.
Okay, that's all he wanted to say. So we'll see what Annie says.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Or not. Okay, so buy some food is at the general store. So we'll go to this person.
Welcome to Gorim's Emporium.
What do you have to sell?
Everything you'll need for going out there into the Badlands. Food, ropes, torches, and of course armor and weapons. I also have some other stock like remedies and antitoxins. That can come in handy. Ever heard of deep spiders?
So now you can say, can we see your wares? And they want you to buy some food. Because whenever you travel a distance, you use up 4 rations per time that you travel. So this is the number of things that you can purchase. So I'll purchase 8 just for the sake of it, just so we have some. So I'll conclude that. So we have some of those. These are different things. Like you need a rosary tool in order to so everybody is proficient in different things. So he's proficient in thieves tools, and he's also proficient in Roderick's not proficient in any of those things, so he can't do it. A small smith toolkit I will grab so that I can make stuff with smithing. She's proficient in a scroll kit. Does she have one? Oh, she's got a herbalism kit. Okay. So that's what you need in order to make stuff with herbs. And I have this scroll of how to learn. Hold Alt for more info. So this pendant is used to enchant items and using primed materials. So you need this in order to enchant. But I don't think I'll get it just yet. Does he have poisoners? No. So nobody's good at poisoning right now. But I think she has a scroll kit. She's got a herbalism kit and a scroll kit. Okay, so I don't need to worry about buying another one. Okay. The other thing that you need to have for, I don't know if these guys have one. Druidic focus. Component pouch. Contains material components for most spells. Costly ingredients included. Okay. Because she has a component pouch. She's got a holy symbol. That's her divine. He's got a holy symbol, so he has a spellcasting focus. But your ranger doesn't start with a spellcasting focus. And he needs one in order to cast spells. So now that I've got his spells, I think he needs a druidic focus. Spell focus druidic. I can't remember. What is it that he needs? Let me just see before. I'll go to him and I'll go cast spell. I can cast Hunter's Mark. Missing spell component. No free hand to conform. Must wear a spell focus or component pouch druidic. Okay. So I need to get him. So I have to reselect everybody. Talk to her again.
Well,
see your wares. And I'll go to him and I'll buy him a druidic focus. Conclude. Nope, I don't want to sell it. Okay, so now I go to his equipment, inventory. Where do I equip this? Oh, I think you just have to have it on you. So now can he cast Goodberry? No free hand. Oh, okay, so I gotta switch to the longbow. Must wield or wear. Did I just waste gold on something? Grr. So this would be something for you guys. Oh, does he have to hold it in his hand? He does have to hold it in his hand. Oh, goodness. No, I don't want the druidic spell focus then. I want the component pouch maybe then. Even though it's more expensive.
welcome.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Sure. I'll sell that back. And I'll buy one of these. Okay. Close. Now if I go to his inventory, I can equip that. And now he should be able to cast spells. Yes, now he can cast Goodberry. Okay, cool. Perfect. Alright. That's one thing that you have to do if you have a ranger.
Deputies, a word if you please.
So famous already. I love it.
You were in there too. Are you a member of the council?
I'm Annie Bagmorder, quartermaster of the Scavengers Guild. We don't have a seat in there, but they all know exploring the Badlands without us would be a bad idea. That's why you should stop by our headquarters downtown. You'll need our services, I'm sure.
Is that compulsory?
No. But you'll find our services useful. Everyone does. Did Lord Karen not tell you?
No, he pretty much stuck to giving orders.
Oh, right. Anyway, we offer plenty of help and advice to beginners like you.
We are grown-ups, you know. At least most of us are.
Of course you are. Well,
the scavengers are kind of an interesting idea in this game where you, whenever you clear an area...
Another lady or something.
Inviting beggars to the council. How peculiar. So what do you think? Should we check out their headquarters?
It's not far, but...
I've had enough talking. Let's go kill some monsters.
If there's business to be done, we can't afford not to.
The scavengers, what they do is they will once you clear an area, where is that person again? She's over here. Grr, why am I not finding her? Oh, there she is. Okay, once you clear through an area, if you leave any treasure on bodies of bad guys because you run out of room and you don't want to carry it all, the scavengers will come through and they'll pick up everything and they'll sell everything and they'll give you a cut of what they've sold.
So, what exactly do you have to offer?
You don't know?
What kind of help do you offer to people like us?
Simple. Now, people like you typically carry out missions for the Council. In the Marches, even in the Badlands. Sometimes far away, like Captain Merrin.
Who's Captain Merrin?
You really must be new. She's one of yours. Senior Deputy of the Council. Anyway, you trek out to some old ruin in the Badlands, kill a bunch of orcs. Well, you're still a bit green, so let's say goblins.
Ouch! You're hurting our feelings.
Orcs will hurt much more than your feelings, believe me. And stop interrupting, it's rude. So let's say you find yourself with a whole load of rusty swords, leather armor, shields, too much for you to lug back here.
Oh, so we're puny as well as green. Thanks so much.
So instead, you brave heroes just clear the place of monsters and draw us a nice clean map. Then we take our carts and pick up every piece of junk. We bring it back, we sell it, and we split the profits with you. We move the stuff, you go off to kill more bad things. Everybody wins.
For a percentage, of course.
What? You could never carry it all anyway. Not in your little backpacks.
Yeah, so that's what they end up doing.
Well,
Fine. Feel free to visit us anytime. Or drop into any scavenger camp.
Are there others?
Anywhere we can settle. By the way, if you find Captain Henrik, tell him we're still interested.
In what?
In getting our people to Caerlem. The outpost is perfect for us. Close to the Badlands, with plenty of space for our camp.
Right. We'll tell him if we find him.
That would be appreciated. The more you do for us, the more we do for you.
Oh, so this business relationship can get better.
And I hope it will, friend.
I guess we'll see you around then.
Sure. Good luck out there. And don't forget, in the Badlands, always keep your eyes open.
So now there's chests over here that are glowing. So there's... this is unknown party stash, so unfinished biography and dragons. Oh, so this is stuff that you can use if you want after. Party stash. This chest is yours to lose. No one can loot it, and you can stash up to 50 items inside. Many adventurers use this scavenger service to store some of their stuff. So you can put anything you want in this stash, so you don't have to cart it around all the time. And then this, I believe, is for like practicing your lockpicking or something. Oh, I failed to open it. No, I want everybody. Okay, so now I quickly want to go to the inventory and I want to read these scrolls. Close. Does he have a scroll of anything? Nope. Oh, he's already learned it, so close. She has... read. Yes, okay. Potion of healing. Scroll of magic missile. So now you can go to crafting, and she can learn how to craft. Like, once you learn how to craft something, you just need the stuff and the ability to do it, and you can start crafting stuff. So it tells you what you need and what you're missing. So they're missing Galavan Amaranth, Blood Daffodil, and this Galavan Amaranth. So anybody can craft. So like, he can start crafting some arrows. So I'll start crafting some arrows. Why not? So, because he had the projectile parts to make some arrows, so I might as well have him start crafting. And then rosaries are once you get stuff to learn how to enchant things. So this guy sells stuff for sells, oh no, this is Gorm's irons. Yeah. So now there's this guy is the magic one. I forgot also too, if you ever want to, once you're done talking to this person, next, yes, crafting. This is what I just mentioned, all the crafting skills and ingredients, recipes, understood. Talk to this person.
Hello, how may I help you?
And they sell crafting gear and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just see their wares. So he sells flaming arrows and flaming bolts, no armor, magical devices. So he sells potions and scrolls that you can purchase, or component pouches, component bracers, component belts. Yeah, should have come to this guy first. The druidic focus is terrible. So these are things that you can wear in order to have your spell focus. Then this is adventuring gear, so emeralds, rough blue diamonds, diamonds and pearls, some more crafting things, and then ingredients. So the thing that I was missing, this Galavan Amaranth, so I can buy a couple of it for some of my money that I have. So I can go conclude, yes. And now close, and now I can go into crafting for, so she can craft a potion, so I'll get her to start crafting a potion, and she can craft a scroll of magic missile, so I'll get her to start crafting the scroll of magic missile. That's the scroll of cure wounds. So now, as we travel, once they start traveling, they might be able to make those before I get to where I'm going. So now here's where you start to travel. So I'll just travel to the next area, but then I think I'll save it and end this video here, because this has been quite a long video. So this is now the travel map, so you can I'll explain everything that they just said there. So this is where you start, and this is where we're going to, is this Carolam outpost. So you can see the different places that this is the new empire that he was talking about, the kingdom of Galavan. Up here is another, the Snow Alliance. And then this is all the Badlands over here. So we're going to, and this is that Copperhead Road that he was talking about. So we're going to Carolam's outpost. So we're going to travel there. So now here you can set your pace as fast. If you go at a fast pace, you're more likely to get ambushed because you're going faster and not doing stealth and perception. So it takes a shorter amount of time and less long rests. And then there's settings that you can put. So I want to cast Goodberry when long rest starts. So that you'll automatically do whenever your long rest starts, and you'll recover your Goodberry spell after you cast it, because you cast it first before you start the long rest. Interrupt when a character can level up. Okay, so, or you can go normal, which normal, they travel at a good pace between balance and awareness of their surroundings, and then if you go slow, you pay more attention to your surroundings and you're less noticeable, but you, so it takes 4 days, more long rest, but it also requires more food. Every time you go a day, you have to use up 4 rations. So I'll just go at normal pace and I'll start traveling. So this is your traveling routine. In your travel journal, people will do stuff throughout the day, and it'll show you what they do. Sometimes you'll find food, sometimes you'll make something. Like here, Kara finds a bunch of wild red, gathers 5 rations. Did not find any useful ingredients. I crafted an arrow. Okay. Now here we got, did not find any useful ingredients, passes the ancient tree, believed old enough, sets up camp, cleans his shoes, halfway done, finishes the arrow, starts a discussion, halfway done crafting a magic missile, halfway done crafting the potion of healing. And now we got attacked by a bunch of bandits and we were all surprised. So this will quickly go through surprise and how it works. Basically, if you're surprised, you don't get an action, they get to act first. If you surprise them, they don't get an action, and you get to go first. So even though we have a faster initiative, we were surprised, so we don't get to do anything on our turn. So this is that bandit coming in. But they had to double move in order to get to us, so they couldn't do anything. This one's running towards us. Surprise, surprise, surprised. And now this person runs towards us, the highwayman. So there's 1 highwayman and 3 bandits. So now these guys get to attack. So whenever you're in a camp like this, you can use up all your abilities and not have to worry about it, because in order to move forward, you're going to do a long rest afterwards anyway, so don't be afraid to use up all your skills and abilities fighting. So I'm going to attack, and this Divine Smite I've hit, so I'm going to use my Divine Smite to do extra damage and kill him in 1 hit. Now I can cast a spell, but these both require... Oh, no freehand. Oh, because I'm using a sword and a shield. Alright, so I'll just abort that for now. And I'll just end my turn. Now she is going to cast a spell. Let's Burning Hands this person.
Arcana Evil. Not too bad.
She died in 1 hit, so now I'll end turn. This person is going to get an attack off on somebody. Oh, I missed. So now my ranger will get an attack. So I'll just double attack because I think I'll be able to kill her. Oh, I missed. So I can cast Hunter's Mark, or I can just attack. So I think I'll just attack with my offhand. Yeah, that's a crit hit, so that's good. End turn. And now she will just attack. And with her, I'll use my Channel Divinity to Decisive Strike. So she gets extra damage, and if she hadn't died, she'd have been stunned. And with this person, I could cast some spells if I wanted to, but I don't want to right now. So I'll just end turn. And now he'll attack. And I'll just pass on this mic because she's basically dead. After a night attack, you can safely go back to sleep and complete your long rest. So you remember you can use up all of your spells and abilities and whatnot when you're over attacked like this. So it's very handy for that. So now you can just loot everything. So this gives you an idea of what was what's available. So there's gold pieces, there's rations, just the regular leather, scimitar, light crossbow. This refined oil is good. See, all these things are heavy though, so you don't necessarily want to grab anything because you can see how much encumbrance they can have. And depending on your encumbrance level, once you go past this, when you're in light, your speed is reduced by 2, and when you're in heavy, your speed is reduced by 4, and you have disadvantage to attack rolls. So people usually only want to have so many things on them. But I like taking scimitars for Danithir, because I'll show you why in a second. But the rest of this stuff, like, there's not really much point in taking any of the rest of this stuff. The scavengers will come by and grab it. The reason why I like taking scimitars is because short swords do piercing damage and scimitars do slashing damage. So it's nice to have one of each, so you have 2 different damage types when you're fighting with the ranger. That's, in my opinion, I like it. So we'll just grab those and then we leave the area. And we just finish the rest of our route. So they've crafted their scroll. Interrupting travel. So on this day, so day 2, found more food, finished the potion, had time to think, finished, consumed 4 things of food, and now we make it to the outpost. And I think this is where I will call it, because this has been a much longer video than I wanted it to be for our initial thing. But so this is our first playthrough of our first part of our walkthrough for Solasta Crown of the Magister. I hope you guys like this content, and if you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. So I'm just going to save it here.
So that's Kerlem.
And of course, there's a little
We're
bit of a
almost
scene,
there.
so
It's just up the hill.
It's a little too quiet, don't you think?
We're in the marches, so quiet can't be trusted.
Quite so. We must be on our guard.
Alright, so I will just save the game. I'm going to call it YouTube Party. Save. Overwrite the saved game. And that'll be it for today. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.